People say that social media is for the young. Isn't it? Nope. Social media is for everyone. Even for weird, nerdy, liberal, 50-year-old idealistic oddballs like me. Welcome to Nerdopause. Hello there, it's me again. Okay, first of all, this is a bit late. Okay, it's a lot late. Okay, it's almost a month late. And I'd like to apologize to the 3 or 4 people who consistently watch these things. For the past few weeks, actually the last month, I have been visiting family in California and friends in California. I stayed longer to stay with my mom, who lives in the central coast of California and who happens to have extremely dubious internet service. Also, she lives in a kind of a sort of a small place, so it's a little bit hard to find the kind of solitude I need to mumble into the camera and then to post it on the internet where everybody on Earth can see it. Okay, that's not logical. So I made the executive decision for this video to be late. Yeah, but I'm back. Yay! I did try, while I was staying with my mom in the Central Coast, to find places to make my video. Settled eventually one day sitting in my mom's car in the parking lot of a shopping mall, and I sat way in the back of the parking lot and started talking to myself into my cell phone. And I said things like this. I'm in a car in a parking lot. Yay. I love talking in cars. I said things like that. Inside every person who is getting older, such as me, there is like a young person kind of buried under layers. It's kind of like rolling a ball of cookie dough and coconut, and then rolling it in something else, and rolling it in something else. But inside is still the original cookie dough. Is that a good analogy? I don't know. Is it more like a sushi roll? Could it be? I don't know. I need a better analogy. Not good with the analogies. Eventually I gave up because the parking lot started filling up and 2 cars parked directly on either side of me, and the people in the cars stayed in their cars to stare at me talking into my cell phone. I want to introduce you to somebody. I would like to introduce you to Vinnie. This is Vinnie. Vinnie is a burrowing owl and created by the beloved sculptor and artiste, as well as sister-in-law to me, Elizabeth Duck. Elizabeth informed me that once Vinnie came into being, he made it clear to her that he wanted nothing less than fame and fortune. So, of course, he came to live with me, the personification of fame and fortune. Yeah, you can stop laughing now. So, Vinnie, you want to tell us your full name? Vincent Burrows. Okay. Can I call you Vinnie? No. Well, I'm going to call you Vinnie anyway. What's your favorite food? And what don't you like? Whiners. No. I mean, really, Vinnie, that's kind of harsh. Are you looking forward to living in Illinois? Why? I mean, you're here. It's beautiful. It's got lots of water, beautiful place to see. I'm just going to let you go do whatever it is you do. Just go do it, okay? All right. Bye, Vinnie. Today, I have the word of the day. If this dog doesn't stop shaking its collar, I'm going to lose my mind. I'd like to apologize for the background noises being created by our Australian cattle dog, Dusty. So today's word is liminal, as in liminal spaces. The word liminal comes from the Latin word limen, meaning threshold. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines liminal as referring to a sensory threshold, something that is kind of barely perceptible in the condition of existing between. Now, liminal spaces are those in-between moments in a story or in our lives. For example, waiting in an airport, which I just got done doing a lot of over the past few weeks, is a liminal space. You are between moments. You can't move forward because your plane hasn't boarded or left yet. You can't move backwards because you're about to take a plane. So you're stuck in this in-between spot. And it's been argued, and I really do believe it, that liminal spaces are needed in our lives. They seem to be stagnant moments. They seem to be these useless moments of just waiting or hovering, but in reality, we need them. And they are the catalysts of growth and change. They're the waiting moment before we transform. And they're valuable. And I suspect that our lives are increasingly filling with these liminal moments. I have a lot of personal experience with liminal spaces, um, not just in my writing, which does have quite a few of them now that I think about it, but also in my life. My childhood was challenging, so from a very early age, I was drawn into these liminal space fillers, namely reading and later on writing. When things in my real world kind of became overwhelming, I slid into a liminal space that I filled with reading stories. And thus I grew into the nerdy bookworm you see today. Ta-da! Our lives seem to be filling up more and more with liminal spaces and liminality. All our lives are filling up with waiting moments. And you know what we're filling these moments with? This. We're filling them with these things, these little electronic miracle worlds, and they're miracles. I mean, in my lifetime, just a side note, I remember black and white console TVs. You know, the TVs the size of like a smart car, made of wood with a tiny little black and white screen. I remember those. And now we have these. I mean, really? And so now we've got these little amazing machines in our hand, and they're filled with stories and games and news articles. We're connected all the time. Oh, yay. It's faceless and it's almost without real responsibility. We fall into these tiny little screens, these little worlds, out of our liminal spaces, and then we find ourselves trapped. You get involved in what? Reading something, watching a video, listening to music, playing a game, Pokemon Go, and for example, and our liminal spaces expand, right? You don't want to stop watching the video, you don't want to stop catching your Pokemon, and our liminal spaces go from just the size of what's happening in that moment to being a bigger liminal space. Now we're sacrificing or giving up other things we should be doing and just living in that liminal space. It's true across the world in many countries, not just the United States, but you know, maybe it's subjective, but it seems more pronounced here in the United States where, you know, liminal spaces are being raised to this huge degree. And not to put too fine a point on it, just say it for what it is. But in the coming years in this country, I suspect, will be seeking out our liminal spaces more and more often for a variety of reasons. So I suspect that a lot of us are going to be spending more time on these. And when you do, perhaps you'll watch me. And I will keep you company in your liminal space for whatever reason you're in it. I would like to thank you for once again watching me talk into a little tiny green light. And I hope you have a wonderful week. I am back. I will hopefully get back on my video making schedule. And until I see you again, take care of each other and stay nerdy.